Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Brooke Buckner. The election race for Secretary of State may be heading for double overtime. Army veteran Brian Norris has officially called for several counties to recount their votes in the Republican primary runoff that wrapped up Tuesday night. Norris appears to have lost by just 938 votes to opponent Kim Hammer. That's close enough to allow Norris to request the recount and have local election commissioners verify duplicated ballots and tabulated totals. Norris, who ran on a platform of using paper ballots, said in a statement, quote, "It's not about being a sore loser, but instead making sure every ballot was counted correctly." He had the most votes statewide in the three-way primary earlier this month. Norris's campaign has to pay for the recounts, but he could get a refund if the result is altered. Over in Jefferson County, Judge Gerald Robinson has lost his re-election bid. He has been at the center of conflict with members of the Quorum Court, leading a budget standoff in 2024 that led the state legislature to step in. And now that voters have ousted the contentious incumbent county judge, Ephraim Neely is hoping to step in and says he's ready to clean up a dysfunctional county government. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky brings us the reactions after the runoff.
For some in Jefferson County, that sigh says everything. After years of turmoil inside county government, voters are choosing a new direction.
This county judge, he's under investigation by the Attorney General's office right now.
Voters chose attorney Ephraim Neely to take the Democratic ticket for county judge in November, beating incumbent Gerald Robinson.
My eyes were open to the amount of abuse that was going on in county government.
Former Justice of Peace Lloyd Franklin says this comes after missed paychecks that forced state lawmakers to get involved, budget concerns, a pending audit, and public infighting. Current Justice of Peace Reginald Johnson says he's welcoming the change and the chance to move forward. He hopes to finally prioritize projects that he and the community have waited for years.
We need to get these roads fixed, get those craters out the road.
Neely says there needs to be transparency and accountability, and he's welcoming the audit to see how much there is to clean up.
We have like $700,000 or more in attorney fees, and we don't know what those are for. We have lawsuits that's been settled that's demanded 3 years worth of back invoices. We don't know what those are about. We have different things that have been purchased that we haven't seen and that are being investigated, such as solar panels and things of that nature.
He says his first order of business will be to get a functioning website that is easily accessible for people, fix county roads, and pay county employees fairer salaries, while working with community partners like the sheriff's office and local schools.
Getting involved in more programming where we can help this age group of, I say like 13 to 21, 22, so that we can try to curb some of the crime.
Franklin says the future is bright, but it may take a while to fix the damage.
Jefferson County's biggest problem, we've gotten over the hurdle of voting him out, but I think the biggest problem that we're going to face is the years of rebuilding behind the things that he's done. If you neglect roads for 8 years, it's going to take 5 to 10 years to try to balance that out and repair these roads. But what citizens don't realize is that he's probably tied up the budget.
Johnson says he plans to continue keeping a close eye on county spending.
Do my best to try to keep containment on their funds. I mean, I'm not going to be approving appropriations that don't make sense.
In Pine Bluff, Tanya Motorzitsky, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Tanya. Judge Robinson didn't respond to our repeated attempts to participate in this story. Now Neely will be a big favorite over Republican and retired Army Colonel Nate Todd. Meanwhile, Franklin and Robinson will continue their personal and political rivalry this summer. A defamation suit involving both goes to trial in July.
Well, earlier today, we had some rain move through. It was a little thin band of rain, diminished and coverage and intensity as it moved through central into eastern Arkansas. And this is what's left over. Skies have broken up a bit, call it mostly cloudy. It's been a windy afternoon, and you can still see quite a bit of haze and pollen in the air outside. Now, we do have good rain chances on the way with a weather impact alert. I'll get to that here in just a moment. Let's take a trip around radar and see if we have any action. There's a few spotty showers in eastern Arkansas, and they still have a little bit of a threat of a strong to severe thunderstorm for the afternoon and evening hours. Here are the numbers. Little Rock is at 78. Pine Bluff is at 81, 78 up Mountain Home. It's been a very warm day today, well above average. The wind has been up. We still have all those burn bans in effect. And then we turn our attention to Saturday. Really beginning late Friday night, early Saturday, a line of storms is projected to move through. And with that line, heavy rain is a possibility. One or two storms could be strong to severe. Thus, we have the weather impact alert for Saturday during the day. But there's good news. The storms could move through central Arkansas as early as 11, 12 o'clock, in the rest of the state by 3 or 4 o'clock, returning us to a little sunshine late on Saturday. But for now, we'll go weather impact alert, line of storms, and a much better forecast coming in Sunday. Easter Sunday, cooler for all of your church activities and any Easter egg hunts you may have afterwards. Brooke, back to you.
Tom, thank you. Tonight, 3 law firms have announced a civil investigation into the death of college basketball player Ethan Dietz, an Arkansas native who, according to investigators, was hit in the head while playing for Connors State College in Oklahoma, but remained in the game until a later timeout, despite showing visible signs of pain. The law firms say they're investigating whether proper concussion protocols were followed, arguing that faster medical care could have saved his life. An investigation is also underway in Jefferson County after an inmate died while in the jail. According to reports, 38-year-old Kevin Bakay had some sort of medical emergency and became unresponsive. Members of the jail staff quickly jumped in to help and got him in an ambulance, but he passed away this morning. Officials say there were no signs of foul play, and they're still working to learn more. A 19-year-old is in custody tonight in Pine Bluff, charged with 2 counts of capital murder. We first brought you word of the shooting in our late news last night. THV11's Maya Ellison is back from a news conference where city leaders spelled out what they say needs to be done to stop crime in a city that has been making progress.
We've got to take an aggressive stance on these criminals that are placing fear in this community.
Pine Bluff police say they found one man in a car and another on the scene on West 14th Avenue Wednesday night, both injured from gunshot wounds. The 2 men, identified as 18-year-old Zykeelan Ginger and 19-year-old Otis Tyler, were both taken to a local hospital where they died from their injuries.
There was a witness that was on scene that identified who the shooter was. That suspect was later captured within an hour at a residence just 2 houses down.
That suspect, identified as 19-year-old Keyshawn Franklin, who officials say was taken to Jefferson County Jail and booked on 2 counts of capital murder. Chief Hadley says they believe a disagreement over $20 led to the shooting. But there's another issue he says has sparked concern.
In the past, we have noticed that there has been an influx of assault type weapons, the AR-15s and all of that stuff.
An AR-15, he says, was also found in the car during Wednesday night's investigation. Now, this year alone, 8 homicides have been reported in Pine Bluff, with 7 arrests made. And to prevent numbers from climbing, city leaders like Mayor Flowers says an answer starts with interaction in the community.
Our substations, group violence intervention, we're bringing back our summer camps with police and fire. That is what is going to engage young people.
Boxing coach Albert Brewer coached victim Otis Tyler as a child, telling me the hardest part is losing a kid in the community.
If we don't sponsor these kids, the streets will. We got to find a common ground. That we just got to find a common ground.
A reason he says his group, Gloves Not Guns, puts power in the ring and off the street.
He said, when you use these, you live to see another day. And that's a true statement. But when you do this, hey, there's some consequences behind it. You might live to see another day, but your days is going to be, oh my God.
In Pine Bluff, Maya Ellison, THV11 News.
Thank you, Maya. Pine Bluff has 5 police substations with hopes to launch more programs directly from those community sites. Health leaders from across the state are gathering up in Fayetteville for the 2026 Northwest Arkansas Health Summit with a focus on improving health across the state. Organizers say Arkansas continues to face some of the worst health disparities in the nation, and the goal of the summit is to find ways to close those gaps.
What I know about Arkansas is that we are fully committed to collaborating to find the best solutions. And so we will have stakeholders across health systems, community-based organization, policy, and payer groups all coming together to ensure that every Arkansan has an opportunity to live a healthy life.
This year's discussion included expanding the healthcare workforce, improving access to care in rural areas, and exploring programs like Food is Medicine, which connects patients with healthy food to improve health outcomes. It also highlighted ongoing research, including efforts to improve maternal health. If you're in Batesville, you may need to switch health insurance providers or switch hospitals. Otherwise, you'll likely be paying higher out-of-pocket costs for health care. THV 11's Carter Thweet has the latest on this contract dispute.
Just how important is White River Medical Center in Batesville? Ask State Representative Shad Pierce.
My 2 children was born here. My 3 grandchildren was born here. I've had surgeries here. My family's all been here. We've used White River Health many, many times.
And White River Health doesn't just serve Batesville, but much of the surrounding Independence County area and beyond. As of April 1st, though, some patients may be in trouble.
We could not reach an agreement on the 31st of March, so as of April 1st, we were out of network with United Health.
Meaning patients who have United Health as their insurance provider are likely to see higher out-of-pocket costs. Chief Financial Officer Shauna Ives says that red tape required by United was the sticking point for White River.
One of the examples could be if you're needing an inpatient bed in the hospital, getting that authorization approved for that inpatient stay.
In a statement Thursday, United said they proposed multiple solutions, but White River chose to leave their network, and their focus now is helping patients switch to another provider as needed or receive continued care.
The majority, if not all of my constituents, know how important White River Health is before their family, not just their self. And so, yes, there's been a lot of chatter, and you know, my best hope or pray for is they finally come to some negotiation.
White River Health is encouraging patients who have United to talk to a local insurance agency to see if they can change their plan or visit the White River Health website for other steps to take. In Batesville, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Carter, thank you. White River isn't the only North Arkansas hospital to have a dispute with United Healthcare. Hospitals in Mountain Home, Jonesboro, and Harrison are all out of network with some or all of United Healthcare insurance plans. Ahead of Mental Health Awareness Month in May, Arkansas Blue Cross announcing this week it's expanding mental health training and adding additional classes. The free mental health first aid training covers topics such as addiction, depression, and anxiety, among others. Blue Cross is also offering it to more counties across the state that have little to no mental health providers. To register for the free mental health trainings, you can sign up at arkansasbluecross.com/firstaid.